Hello, we're here at Trenchmore Farm with owner Andrew Knowles and chef Michael Notman Watt. And we'll be talking to Andrew later a little bit about Trenchmore, but what are you going to be cooking for us?
We're going to cook a Sussex Wagyu cross beef burger. It's the same thing we do at the pub, so we've just taken over the new inn in Hurstmere Point, and this is our burger that we've got on the menu. We've worked at it to make it the beefiest burger possible. Okay. So we thought, let's use the beefiest beef possible.
So what makes Andrew's beef so spectacular?
I mean, it's the way that that he rears his cattle. While we were waiting while setting up, Andrew and I were talking about kind of the manner in which the cattle gets reared, and it's the care and attention that they put in here to make sure that the cattle are well looked after, well fed, and well happy. That makes, you can taste that in the beef. It may sound tacky, it may sound cheesy, but Trenchmore beef tastes more like beef than beef does.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to trying it. So,
yeah.
So how are we going to start?
So we're going to start. So I've got my little tray of meat here.
Lovely.
So you can buy mince here through their website. We buy it directly through them, and it's what we're going to use for our burger. You can see really nice fat content. This is just straight out the packet. You can see really, really beautiful fat content. It will make a really nice burger, nice and moist. No dry burgers here.
That's one of the things that I think people misunderstand, because it's the fat gives it the juiciness.
Yes.
And the flavour. It's all the flavours in the fat,
Yeah.
and yet people seem to want completely lean meat, and,
Yeah.
and then wonder why it's not juicy.
And the fat is the king there for that.
So you've got some marrow bones.
We've also got some marrow bone, yeah. So, like I said at the beginning, we wanted to make the beefiest burger possible. Mm-hmm. So we serve our burger. We started by serving with burger sauce, with tomato ketchup, relish, and we realized that it was detracting from the beef. So we decided to make a bone marrow and beer relish to go with the burger. So we just thought we'd serve beef with more beef. So I'm going to be going through the recipe to make that as well. And yeah, basically it starts with just a piece of bone marrow there.
Lovely.
Let's start with the burger. First things first, we have 500 grams of Trenchmore mince here. We're going to lightly season it. We season it just a little bit. You don't want to over season it, and you don't want to overwork it, because what that'll do is give you a tough burger. But we're just going to lightly season it with about a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
About a teaspoon of salt, and about 10 really good grinds of black pepper.
Okay.
And then here, you want to get the mince together. There's no way of doing this without your hands, because you're just not going to really get that seasoning in. Like I said, you don't want to mix it too much, because that will make it a bit tougher. But we just want to get that seasoning into the burger itself. So yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Ready to go.
So you've got a barbecue here, yes. But you could do this at home and just pop it in a hot frying pan as well.
We cook it over coals at the pub. We would cook it over coals here because we're in a field. But a heavy based pan it will work perfectly. Ideally cast iron. I know a lot of people don't have cast iron, and that isn't an issue. But what you want is a nice heavy pan, because if it's a really thin pan, what you'll end up doing, you're putting a big hunk of meat in it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how hot your pan is. The second you put that meat in it, it's going to cool down. So you're not going to get that nice.
So you need it to retain the heat evenly
exactly. You need it
across.
to retain the heat.
Okay.
So anyway, so we've got the mince mixed up there. To press the burgers, we have a 5-inch ring. It's just a pastry ring. We've got this for a burger press, but a pastry ring will do just fine. And we want about 200 grams. I'm going to eyeball this, but you can weigh it. And we just squeeze it in. Another piece of paper on top will just help you kind of do that.
So you're not pressing it down too hard,
No,
are you?
because
I've seen people when they've really flattened it, and you just think.
The reason we don't do that, like I said, is to minimise the toughness of the burger. You want that kind of open texture, so that there's fat and juices kind of in there. If you press it down too hard, when you cook it, all that's going to happen is all that fat's going to cook out, and you're going to end up with a steak-like texture, which is not really what you want with a burger. You want it to kind of crumble in your mouth. Yeah. So we've got a couple of burgers here now. What we will do is we'll put that in the fridge just for 20 minutes or so. What that does is just kind of resets the fat a little bit. Normally when you're cooking meat, you want it to be at room temperature, but for a burger like this, where the fat is running through, if you cook it at room temperature, it may just fall apart a bit on your hands. So a little bit of patience.
Yeah, so it's a sort of 10-minute chill in the fridge.
Exactly. All we're just trying to do is firm up the outside a little bit. So we made this, which is a beer and bone marrow relish.
Okay.
It's really, really simple. There's going to be a recipe on the website, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
But it's really, really simple. I just kind of wanted to show you what we do with it. So we take these bone marrows from Andrew here at Trenchmore, and we scoop out the fat that's in the middle. You still buy rendered Wagyu fat from here, and it's the same thing. We just do it because we like a bit more work on our hands for some reason. But yeah, then we slice a load of onions. We mix 1 part water, beer, beef fat, and pickle liquor from the drain that we serve our burgers with, the pickles. And then we just cover our onions and cook it all the way down for about 2 or 3 hours. And you end up with this really, have a look there, really jammy, oniony, beefy, delicious concoction.
Ooh, can I have a smell?
Yeah, but yeah,
Ooh,
really,
gosh, that smells good.
really kind of jammy consistency there.
Okay.
And that's what we serve on the burger. So when we cook the burger, we'll take it off to rest, and as we rest it, we'll put a good dollop of that on top, and it'll just slowly melt into the burger and be delicious.
Okay, great.
So I'll get that out of the way. So let's start cooking.
Okay, great.
So we've got our barbecue here ready to go, and she's ripping hot.
Okay.
She is a she, by the way. So we got our burgers here. So the best way to do it is to just, I'm gonna cook one at a time. We just take a burger and pop it other side down and to remove the paper.
Okay.
What we're now gonna do with that burger is we're gonna cook it about 3 to 4 minutes on each side until it's nice and charred up and get that nice beautiful color that you want from it. Then we're gonna turn it over. We're gonna put the bone marrow relish on and cook the other side. And then while it rests, we'll do the bun.
Okay.
And we'll put it all together.
Lovely.
We don't want to move it around too much because it's still a kind of soft thing. So until that kind of crust forms,
sets. Okay.
yeah, until that crust forms, you just want to leave it on there. No. But the advantage of using Trenchmore meat and especially Trenchmore mince is the fat content will keep it moist, even if you do cook it all the way through. Okay. You're not going to end up with a dry burger. You're going to have to work really, really hard to cook that fat out. But yes, we've had about a few minutes now. So I'm just going to check the bottom. A little longer still. So while that's going, let's start talking about the rest of the things.
Yeah.
So we have our bun here that we've just cut in the middle. I've got a little bit more of that beef fat that we've got from Andrew here. We just spread a little bit on the inside. We're going to toast this bun, but we'll just spread a little bit of beef fat in the middle, just to kind of up that beefiness. Right, let's get back to this guy. Right, so there you go. Beautiful colour on there. We've got that beautiful colour on there. And now we take our bone marrow relish and we just put a dollop of that in the middle.
So that's effectively, it's sort of an onion-based.
It's an onion-based relish, and onion-based relish. Loads of lovely flavour in there because you cook that really slowly. The natural sweetness of the onions have really come out, and it'll just kind of contrast that savoury note from the burger. So we've got our bun ready. Other accoutrements we're serving with today. So we've got a little mixed leaf salad from our garden. So a little mixed leaf salad. We've got some radicchio in there. We've got some curly endive. We've got some rockets, all picked this morning. And the one salad we didn't decide to plant, which personally is a must in any burger, is iceberg lettuce.
Yes.
We didn't want to because everyone does it. We didn't want to do iceberg in a burger.
It is the crispness, is it? You can't
It's just sublime.
Yes, I know.
So
it's
a few rounds of a few layers of iceberg. We just cut it to roughly the bun size. So our burger's now had about 6 minutes on there. We're just going to move it across to be rested. So I'm moving it across to the colder side of my barbecue. We want to give it a few minutes to rest.
Okay.
There's no coals on this side. You don't have to do that. You can just put it on a plate on the side.
But it's best to wait a few
Exactly.
moments. So when you're saying resting, how many minutes
About
are we talking?
2 or 3 minutes.
Okay,
so we've
just to
cooked
let
it.
it
We've
set.
cooked it for 6 minutes. We let it rest for about another 3 minutes. What that does is as it rests, the burger itself kind of soaks up back any juices that you would release. If you were to cut that straight away, those juices are kind of volatile and they'll just they'll leach out onto your plate and into your bun. So you end up with a soggy bun, which is, no one wants a soggy bun.
So it's only a few minutes more patience. Isn't
Exactly,
it?
a few minutes more patience. We're going to start building the burger though. So we have our iceberg. I've got some sliced pickles here and a wedge of lemon that I'm going to dress my salad with. In the meantime, we'll just toast the cut side of the bun. Be very quick here because obviously we've got a bit of fat on there and there's a hot barbecue. And all we're looking for...
I was going to say, doing it on the barbecue, you get that slight smokiness as well, presumably. And it gives you a bit more of a sort of a crispy crust to the burger.
They'll toast really quickly because obviously it's hot barbecue. We've put a little bit of fat on there, so there you go, beautiful,
lovely, beautiful
toasted buns there. Right, so we're going to start building our burger. So we've got a little side garnish, we've got our pickles, our iceberg, we've got our resting burger and our bun. First things first, burger base down. Just break your iceberg a little bit.
Okay.
Because otherwise what happens is your burger can it can topple over.
Okay.
So break your iceberg a little bit.
Flatten it down.
Flatten it down. A little layer of pickles. What I don't understand is when people just put like one little slice of pickle.
No, it's pointless.
Exactly.
No, if you're going to do it,
if you're going to do it, do it. So have a full layer of pickles.
I'm with you there for the pickle.
We then have our burger on top with our onion relish on there as well. And then just the top bun. And then quickly, a little side salad to go with it. We have our rockets, our curly endive, our radicchio in there, a squeeze of lemon juice on top, a pinch of salt, a little squeeze of oil. We're not talking a lot, literally a teaspoon of oil, a quarter of a lemon and a little bit of salt, just to kind of dress the leaves a little bit. We've got enough flavour and enough things going on in the burger. All we want is something nice and crunchy and kind of healthy to go alongside all of our beef fat.
Lovely. And
there you go. That is our Trenchmore burger.
My mouth is watering. Michael, that looks. The smells here are fantastic. That looks great. So over to Luke from the Horsham cellar, who's going to pair this delicious burger with a perfect drink.
The Trenchmore Farm Wagyu beef burger. There's only really one product I wanted to select to match that, and that's the very same estate's wild ferment cider. So at Trenchmore Farm, they have a herd of Wagyu cross Sussex Angus cattle that are beautifully well looked after, and they overlook an orchard. So the guys down there at the farm, not only do they produce sort of world-class Wagyu Sussex cross beef, they also produce 3 or 4 different ciders in their range from their own apple orchards. And the wild ferment unfiltered farmhouse cider is one of my favourites in the range anyway. They use the wild yeasts on the apples to kick off the fermentation. It's a naturally hazy cider. It's got loads of crisp apple characters, a slight tang, and it's a really food-friendly style. So ultimate Wagyu beef burger paired with the same farm's ultimate cider, match made in heaven. Available here at the Horsham cellar for $2.69 a can. If you're looking to stock up, we also do case discounts here at the Horsham cellar, 5% off any 6 or more beers or wines or ciders. It's all included. But if you're looking to stock up for the last few weeks of summer, cracking cider to match with your ultimate beef burger. Cheers.